kids. Fuck the kids? Yeah.
You have just tuned in to the Mag Nerd Podcast, your home for everything in music, anime, and gaming.
What is up, guys? Showing the King here, back with another video, and today I'm bringing you a anime review. Like I told you guys before, I'm going to start doing bite-sized podcast content for the channel until I get everything sorted out with the regular schedule for anime. So with all the hubbub about anime this week, namely with two main animes being Attack on Titan Season 4, Episode 7, I believe, and also with Redo of Healer Episode 2. And again, if you guys watched my first week's episode, I told you this shit was going to happen. It happened, and motherfuckers lost their shit. So we're going to talk about it, all right? But before I talk about those two, I want to talk about one special anime, and that anime is called So I'm a Spider, So What? So we got a lot to talk about, guys. Without further ado, we're going to jump into it. But first, it's time for a shameless plug, all right? Make sure you guys are subscribed to the Mag Nerd Podcast on Instagram. Make sure that you guys are subscribed on Facebook, as well as checking out the podcast on Libsyn. All that beautiful information is down below. Make sure you thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely get the discussion going. I really want to take a second to thank every single one of you guys for the G.I. Joe video that I uploaded last week, which absolutely blew up. Way more views than I thought. Way more, discussions. I love the discussion that was going on in the comment section. You guys really showed out for me, and I am so thankful. Let's keep that momentum going with this video and talk about anime the way we were talking about G.I. Joes. All right, guys, let's do it. All right, so first thing I want to talk about is So I'm a Spider, So What? So what is this? This is a Crunchyroll original anime based off of the manga, which is So I'm a Spider, So What? And it's your typical isekai group of classmates all get isekai at the same time. Some sort of blast hits their school, and they're all reincarnated in this new world. Now, the difference is that they don't become brand new characters. They actually reincarnate in bodies of current people in this new world. So again, some of the classmates are princes, some of the classmates are animals, and there's one particular girl who gets reincarnated. She gets reincarnated as a spider. And again, she starts off as a brand new spider being born in this nest, and it's like she's fighting for her life from the very beginning. And this anime is basically her journey from being a weak and pathetic spider up into becoming the hero, or as I like to call her, Spider-chan. And again, this is my 2021 waifu because she is fucking phenomenal. All right, so why do I like this anime, and why should you watch this anime? So number one, it is rated M. You guys know for sure enough that is a must. Again, I'm saying that all anime I watch has to be rated M, but this one definitely is rated M. It's funny. She is fucking hilarious. And again, the story is just so cute, and it's all of this stuff wrapped into one. It's I don't want to say that it's necessarily slow, but it's definitely deliberately paced, whereas you kind of learn about the stat window. The same things that I was talking about in Redo of Healer, where I wish that they focus more on the stat window, because again, in the manga for Redo of Healer, that is a major part of the story, is him deciphering his stats and learning how to update his stats and how to beat his opponents through his eye ability. And I just wish they focused on that a lot more. But in this anime, they actually do follow the manga pretty closely, and they do a lot of the stat stuff. So I'm not gonna go through the full, because again, there's been 3 episodes so far. It's on Crunchyroll. Definitely check it out for yourself. If you guys really enjoy it, I'll maybe start doing weekly reviews for it. But again, that's definitely just one of the recommendations I have for you guys. So I'm a Spider, So What? On Crunchyroll. Go watch it. All right, so now it's time for the moment we all been waiting for. First, I'm actually going to talk about Redo of Healer, and then I'm going to circle back and talk about Attack on Titan. Reason why I want to talk about Redo of Healer first is because, again, I think out of the controversy that was started, that one is probably the most potent. And again, if you guys watched my episode 1 review, link in the description below, I fucking told you that these fucking namby-pamby, wimpy-ass anime and just like people with political agendas was going to watch this episode and they were going to lose their fucking shit. And 110% they did. Now, one thing I want to tell you right off the bat, that the anime actually did a better job at showing those scenes than the actual manga did. Like, the anime actually went further than the actual manga did. And again, I highly recommend you guys do not watch the censored version of Redo of Healer. Watch the uncensored version. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. And again, I cannot give out that information on where to find it, but if you Google it, you should be able to find it. I just don't want a lot of people knowing about it to get it shut down. So, okay, Google it. You should be able to find it. Go watch it. All right, so what happened? So what's the big controversy in episode 2 and why is everybody such in a fuss? So, and I'm actually kind of pissed off about it, but we'll get into that. So Redo of Healer episode 2 shows our protagonist finally getting portrayed by the magic hero, and you know her true colors come out and she's like poisoning him. This man is getting raped by men and women, being abused mentally, physically, sexually. I mean, they are doing the most to my boy, and he is doing this and going through this because he knows that eventually he'll be able. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he went through this for 4 years. Yeah, he endured this torture for 4 fucking years, or 4 months, either 4 months or 4 years. I can't remember. Somebody correct me in the comment section below. But he went through that shit for a long time. Daily beatings, torture, rape. Like, they were destroying this man, all so that they could, you know, fulfill their own desires. And then finally, he awakened his ability to resist the drug and was able to get his senses back. And then he basically strikes, you know, swift justice on the magic hero in striking fashion. And again, I don't need to go through the exact details. All I will say is that it was glorious. I thought it was well done. Only thing I'll say is that there's one scene where he like breaks her fingers and he tells her that, hey, if you can get through me breaking your fingers without screaming, then I'll let you go. So he breaks all 10 of her fingers and then he heals them and then continues to break them again, and she finally starts screaming. So then he proceeds to violate her in the same way that he was violated, almost worse. He even gave her a little tallywhack slap with the face. That shit was funny. That shit was funny. Now, where's the controversy? Well, again, if you just heard her say it, you know what the controversy is. So why am I upset about it? I'm upset about it because of the simple fact that there is this divide in the anime and just in the community in general, where you have a bunch of people who are looking for things to get upset about. Same thing happened with Goblin Slayer episode 1, where the goblin raped her, and then everybody's like, oh my god, this is an outrage, we want this show canceled, da, 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 da. And then right after that, it also happened with Interspecies Reviewer, which is where it was like basically people going to brothels from other species, and that ended up getting canceled. And again, I didn't understand that either. I went back and watched the uncensored version of Interspecies Reviewers, and again, it got old quick. Like, the little sexual scenes weren't even that big of a deal. I've seen worse in hentai, and again, to me, I didn't understand what the big deal was. And again, same thing with this. Redo a Healer, I will admit, it definitely toes the line on imagery, because again, if you're watching this and you're seeing this, you're not supposed to be comfortable with it. Just like you're not supposed to be comfortable with him being raped for either 4 years or 4 months or however long it was. But the thing that's funny is that when all this was going on with the main healing hero, nobody had anything to complain about. This man is being raped by men, women, being abused, tortured, and no one had anything to say about that. But the second that he enacts his revenge on the female, then all of a sudden it's like, cancel this show, this is the worst, how dare you do this, oh, cancel. Man, fuck all that. I am of the mindset of we don't turn the other cheek, we beat your ass down in the streets. I am of the mindset of when they go low, you take it to the flow. Or when they go low, you take it to hell. Okay? So I feel like he was completely justified in what he did to her, and she got exactly what she deserved. Okay? Hands down. Plain and simple. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. All right? So episode 3 will be out, I believe, this week. And again, I'll be watching the uncensored version. And again, I just want to say that this is another one of my favorite episodes because we meet his slave that he's going to end up buying. And that's not really a spoiler because if you watch the trailer, you can see that there's a slave. And I think the name of the episode is Slave. So again, I won't go through the entire details, but needless to say, that slave is I love that slave. She thorough. She thorough. So be ready, boys. If you guys, and again, if you want to read the manga, go read the manga. But I'm telling you now, redo a healer. All right, finally, let's talk about Attack on Titan Season 4. God damn. All right, so there was also controversy with Attack on Titan. And again, I was one of these ones that was complaining. Now, again, let me say this off the top, okay? I in no way, shape, or form condone people sending death threats to animators. Because at the end of the day, you're not getting anything accomplished. It makes you look crazy. It makes the anime community look crazy. It's just stupid, okay? So sending death threats, it's okay to be angry and it's okay to disagree with things. But when you take it to death threats and stuff like that and harassment, it's just not going to get anywhere. It's just going to make us look bad as a community. All right, now that being out of the way, I was one of the few people of the minority of people who were not happy with the CGI direction of Attack on Titan Season 4. I'm just going to say it. If we went from what we got from Studio Wit last Season 3, again, do I need to mention Levi versus the Beast Titan the first time around? The 2D drawn animation when he went cutting them all up, and when his jaw hit the ground, you could literally see his jaw like flummoxing. Like that kind of studio quality could never be duplicated in CGI. It just couldn't. Now the problem is that Mappa, Studio Mappa, who did Season 4, they basically were presented with an opportunity because every other animation studio turned it down because they couldn't get, nobody wanted to take on this project if they had to get it done within a year. So Studio Mappa decided, hey, we'll cut corners by doing CGI, we'll do our best and we'll get it out to you guys. And they ended up getting a lot more money for it. Props to you guys. But in turn, what they ended up doing is they ended up fucking things up with the advertisement, because the advertisement that they did for the trailer for Season 4 was all done in dynamic 2D animation. And that was not a representative of what was going to actually be in the show, which was CGI. So people do have a right to be upset because, again, that is false advertising. And again, they try to come out later on and say that, oh, this is not, that was just like a trailer, but that's not really representative of what was in the anime. I get it, but again, at the end of the day, you guys deserve some harshness because of that, because you did fuck up on that. Now, first couple of episodes, again, you could clearly tell the CGI was just not great. And again, the first 2 episodes, again, were kind of boring. But now that we got the war arc started, Lord have mercy. Now, the CGI on the Titans is not great. Like, I really do have a problem with Aaron's hardening ability, because before, when he was a 2D animation, his hardening actually looked like diamond. But now it just looks like cement, and it's weird. But now, and it's not a big deal. I'm not going to harp on it too long. All right, so let's talk about the last 2 episodes. So first off, Aaron basically lambasting these people and just giving them the holy hell treatment. And everybody's reacting to this shit online, and it's just like the responses are hilarious. Some of the tweets that are going out, how Aaron smashed on the Warhammer Titan on site. Like, and it was funny how people were talking about in like shonen anime where, like in Dragon Ball, Goku will wait like 4 episodes for the person to power up, and same thing in Naruto and shit like that. But as soon as Aaron saw the Warhammer Titan transform, and he was on her ass on site, and that shit was hilarious. But then there's one other thing that people don't talk about a lot, and I want to just bring this up real quick. So there's a scene after he bursts through the building and kills all these people. He dives into the crowd like fist first, and is just like pounding the ground and just like double tapping the shit out of everybody. Yo, just thinking about it just has me dying. Okay. So let's talk about the most recent episode, okay? So the most recent episode, we get Eren, using the Jaw Titan as a nutcracker, and he's basically crushing the Warhammer Titan to get the juice out, and then he basically ends up drinking her like she was a beer, and he was stone cold, and she was like the beer, and he was just like, that shit was crazy. Like, it was a great episode. Now, I'm getting sidetracked because, again, I'm just so excited, but let me just explain. So, Studio Mappa, I was not really okay with the previous episode. I didn't really love the CGI, especially and just mostly with the 3D movement gear, the Survey Corps and their 3D movement gear. I wasn't too happy with that. I really wish they would have done that part in 2D hand animation to get the fluid movements, and I would have been okay with the Titans, but again, just the 3D movement gear stuff I wasn't okay with. But this episode from past Sunday, perfect. I didn't have any issues at all. The passion was there. Even when we got Armin, who came up out of nowhere and started nuking the fucking nuking the bay for their escape. Yo, that shit was amazing, guys. That shit was amazing. And then it was Gabby and Falco on the dock at the end. I'm Team Eren. Let me just be clear. I'm Team Eren 110%. But I cannot lie if I did not feel a little bit of respect for Gabby and Falco when they were sitting there screaming on the sidelines, Raina! It was funny. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of John Boyega's character from Star Wars, where in the last two Star Wars, 90% of his dialogue in that movie was Ray! Anyway, so Attack on Titan, again, Studio Mappa, they really turned a corner on this episode. I give you guys wholehearted praise. Again, the animation was great. The story was spot on. It matched the manga almost. It actually did a better job because when Armin blew up in the manga, you just saw everybody lying there dead. But in this one, they actually had like somebody that was down there that he can actually visually see. And we all know that Armin's like an empath, so he does not like to kill, but he knows he has to do what he has to do. All right, so that was this week's anime news. Again, I'm keeping this video pretty short. Let me know what you guys think. Comment in the section below. If you guys like these videos, just keep telling me about it in the comment section, and I'll keep doing them. This is Showing Up the King, and I'll holler at y'all.